What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ash Talks Movies, and welcome to my review of Elio. This is the latest movie from Disney and Pixar, and it follows a young boy named Elio, voiced by Giannis Gabrib, who is very lonely and still grieving the loss of his parents. He's also obsessed with space and believes that we are not alone in the universe, so much so that he dreams of being abducted by aliens. He soon gets his wish when he's beamed up to the Communiverse, an interplanetary gathering of aliens from across the galaxy who mistake him as the leader of Earth. He then gets put in the middle of a conflict involving Lord Grigon, voiced by Brad Garrett, a warlord who wants to take over the Communiverse. Before I jump into the review, do me a favor, make sure you subscribe, that way you can keep up with everything I'm posting on the channel, including all the movie reviews, entertainment news, and more.
Your life isn't up there, Elio. You need to make friends.
I just want to belong somewhere.
So if any aliens are listening, please come and get me. Okay, bye, love you. It's really happening.
Pixar is a studio that built a reputation for delivering great movies. For a while there, pretty much any Pixar movie that was released would be a certified hit. But in recent years, the perception has been that Pixar has lost some of its magic. So every time a new movie comes out, it always has this big question mark around it. Now, Elio might not be the best that Pixar has ever put out, but it's still a good movie that delivers an original story with interesting characters, beautiful animation, and some really touching messages. Now, there are a lot of big ideas being thrown around in this movie, and you can tell that the filmmakers were really trying to recapture a lot of what made those early Pixar movies great. I do like a lot what was happening in this movie. I don't think all those ideas gel together, so at times this story does feel a bit disjointed. I know this movie was delayed and they changed directors in the middle of production. I don't know what all was happening behind the scenes, but I imagine it did have some impact on the overall movie. And it's clear that when you watch it, that some things were likely reworked. Regardless, Elio is very entertaining, and I think it's the most fun when it basically becomes this buddy comedy with Elio and his new alien pal Glorden, a slug-like creature who also happens to be the son of Lord Grigon. Both of them are misfits who feel misunderstood by the adults around them, and their bond is what carries a lot of the emotional weight in the story, and it takes the story in some very interesting places. Also, the scenes with them exploring the Communiverse were some of the best in the movie. Again, it taps into this childlike wonder that this movie is going for, and you basically just have these two kids that get to play around in space. Now, the animation here is gorgeous, and it has that attention to detail that you come to expect from a Pixar movie, and this is especially true when Elio gets to space. There's a lot of world building here, and all the different places in the Communiverse are so imaginative and really come to life with these vibrant, bold colors. And even the alien creatures, just the designs on those are so creative and so different and weird. And I really liked what they did with creating this world that Elio gets to explore. You also get some really poignant messages about acceptance and love and grief and loneliness. And I do think this is a movie that explores those different ideas in a way that both kids and adults can understand. There is a lot of humor in this movie as well. I was actually surprised by that this movie was pretty funny. But while I was watching the movie, I did wonder that if some of the humor was skewing a little bit more on the adult side than the kid side. And I'm not saying that this movie has any bad humor or vulgar humor. That's not what I'm saying. But, like so many family movies, you always have the moments that appeal to kids, and then you also have that layer where it appeals to adults, right? And it's about finding that balance. And I think Elio, for the most part, does, but I do think, again, some of the humor will go right over the kids' heads, more so than I think in some of the other recent family-friendly movies that I've seen. Now, I did go into Elio with a bit of skepticism just because some of the recent Pixar movies have been hit or miss, but I do think this one is good, and I definitely think that this will connect with kids. This is a movie with a main character that is a child, and a lot of what Elio goes through or how he deals with things, I think will resonate with kids, but there's also stuff for adults here to appreciate as well. This movie is ambitious, as I've already said, and so it is throwing a lot of ideas out there, and it tries some new things, but what I do appreciate is that, it's an original story, and it tries to keep that spirit of Pixar alive in this movie, even if it doesn't stick the landing, so to speak. It does try really hard to recapture that. And I do think there's quite a bit in this movie that works. Not all of it does, but a lot of it works. And even though it's not going to be the best Pixar movie that's ever made, it's certainly not the worst. And I do find it to be really, really entertaining. So those are my thoughts on Elio. Let me know in the comments if you plan on seeing the movie in theaters. While you're here, like and subscribe and stick around for more videos like this.